Okay, everybody, can we start the video? Okay, come, let's start the lesson now. Okay, so let's turn on your camera. Okay, now, so can you hear my voice clearly? Mr. forgot something. Hang on for a while, huh? Okay. All right, so let's start your video quickly. Okay, now, make sure you have a green pen to do your corrections. So if there's any mistakes, you need a green pen. Okay, a green pen to do your corrections so that when I mark your work, it's accurate. All right, so I give the marks based on what you have done. So don't use a blue pen to do corrections. Otherwise, your marks will be different. Okay, so Janelle, start your video. Li Wen, Jordan, and Philip. Anyone who hasn't done your paper one, use a green pen also. Okay, if you haven't done, all right, then just use a green pen. Okay, don't use a black pen or blue pen. Okay, now, so let's start, okay? All right, so Philip, Li Wen, ready? And okay, Philip, you want to bring your camera down a bit lower, Philip? Yeah, because we still can't see your face. You have to bring your camera down a bit lower for Philip. And then Li Wen, once you're ready, start your video. Yvette, bring your camera down a bit lower. Yvette, Zining also, Zining. Okay, camera down a bit lower. Make sure you can see yourself in the camera, because if you cannot see yourself in the camera, then Mr. also cannot see you in the camera. That's how you test whether I can see you or not. Okay, all right. Now let's look at question one. Okay, question one. So I will go through slowly. This non-Hua paper one is okay, all right, not very hard. Okay, so I think you can score quite well if you don't make careless mistakes. Okay, question one. Now express 759.285 to the nearest 100. Okay, 100 means 2 decimal place. So how do you round off to 2 decimal place? Okay, hang on, there are more people coming. Give me a while first. Okay, we have some people coming. Okay, I think everybody is all inside. So those who just come in, turn on your video. Okay, so let's look at question one. And what is nearest 100? Nearest 100 means 2 decimal place. So if you see nearest 100, 2 decimal place, so you have 759.285. So you draw a line to show how a 2 decimal place look like. Then you look at the digit nearest the line. Is it 5 or bigger? Yes, then you add 1. Add 1 on the next digit. So your nearest 2 decimal place will be 759.29. So your answer will be number 2. Okay, number 2. Okay, your case style video, Jared, Ashlyn, Aiden. Okay, don't let me remind you, because like what I told you, KB not the one to see black screen. Okay, so your case. Okay, your case style video once you're ready, Jared. Anyone who can't start your video, you have to explain to me why you cannot start your video.
But I already opened my video.
Yeah, but your Mr. can see you, so your video is okay. Yeah, so that's good enough already. Okay, Jared and Ashlyn, got to start your video. Okay, now, which 2 lines are parallel to each other? Okay, now if you look at the lines, you can actually use your eyes to see, all right? So if your eyes are eagle eye, you will find that your AB, right? Your AB and your GH, they are quite parallel, right? They are parallel. But how do you prove it? Can we prove it to see whether they are parallel? Yeah, you can prove it. You count the squares. Okay, there's a reason for the square boxes. So if you look at the square boxes, for example, if you look at what are parallel lines, they are equal distance apart. So can you look at the blue dots? Okay, the blue dots, and count the squares in between them. Do they have the same distance between them? So for example, you see 1 unit, 2 unit, 3, 4, and 5. So the distance is about 5 units. And then how about the bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So also 5 units. So that's why the 2 lines are parallel. So parallel lines means they are equal distance apart. Okay, so your answer will be AB parallel to GH. So answer number 2. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Right, question number 3. Okay, what is the mass of the durian? So you count the gaps again. How many gaps? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 10 units. 10 gaps means there are 10 units. So how big is 10 gaps? You take 1 kilogram minus 0, which is 1 kg. And that is 1,000 grams. So 1 gap will be 1,000 divided by 10, 100 grams. Okay, then you start counting. So you have 1, there's a 1 here already, and then there's a 2, and there's a 3. So the needle has crossed a 3. Then you count the gaps, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be 400, right? 400. Okay, so you have 3 kg and 400, or 3,400 grams. Okay, you look at the answers there, don't have the answers there. So what do? You change it to what? Change it to grams. I mean, change it to kilograms. So how do you change it to kilogram? You have to divide by 1,000. Okay, from grams to kilogram, right? You must divide by 1,000. Okay, and how to divide? You have to create a decimal point and then shift the decimal point to the left 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. And you will get 3.4 kg. So what is the mass? 3.4 kg. So answer number 3. Okay, all right. So when do you count the gaps? You count the gaps when you have bar graph, line graph, right? Bar graph, line graph also got gaps. So you have to count the gaps before you can even answer the questions. All right, let's look at number 4. Okay, what is the likely mass of the student's diary? Okay, first of all, cannot be 2 kilogram because 2 kilogram is 2 kg. Yeah, 2 kg is too heavy already. Cannot be so heavy. 2 grams. 2 grams is about the mass of a 1 cent coin. A 1 cent coin, which is very light. So your diary cannot be so light as a coin. Okay, then 20 grams. 20 gram is what? 20 gram seems like your answer is 20 gram, but what is 20 gram? It is the mass of a few coins. If one coin is about 2 grams, then a few coins add together will be 20 grams, which is also quite light. But your diary is heavier than coins. So it has to be about 200 grams. Okay, so your diary is 200 grams because it's definitely heavier than coins. Okay, so answer will be number 3. Okay, let's go to number 5. All right, how do we change the fractions to decimal? Very simple, don't do mental sum unless you're very good with decimal. The whole number, you change it into a decimal, and then the 6 into a decimal. And then 6 over 100 is 0.06, and then 6 over 1,000 will be 0.006. So this is the careful way of doing. All right, if you do this way, you will not make any careless mistakes. Put the zeros in the blank spaces, and then you will get 606.066. All right, so your answer will be what? Your answer will be number 2. Okay. All right, so check your answers. Again, like what Ms. Ong said, those of you who are my students, do not use a blue pen. If you haven't done your work, if there are corrections, use a green pen. Okay, so when you hand in your paper 1, the next lesson, then I can mark it accurately. All right, so use a green pen for corrections or if you haven't done. Okay, let's go to question number 6. Okay, how do we do the algebra? All right, now you circle the groups. 12a, then plus 8, minus a, minus 3, plus 2a. So put the groups with the same kind together. So your 12a put together with minus a, and then plus 2a, right? Put the groups of the same type together. And then the whole numbers, put them together also. So plus 8, and then minus 3. So that is easier for you to work out. 12a minus a is 11. 11a plus 2a will be 13a, and then 8 minus 3 will be 5. So your 13a, so answer is 13a plus 5. Okay, answer number 2. Okay, next one. Okay, for question 7, the student has actually done for you, but you need to double check. Okay, you have to double check, cannot just assume that is correct. So which point when joined to P and Q form an obtuse angle? So what is obtuse angle? Obtuse angle means is more than 90. So if you look at your point B is definitely less than 90, point C less than 90, right? And your point D is also less than 90. So all these points are wrong already, right? Therefore, what is the correct point? Your point A must be the correct point because when you look at the angle, it is greater than 90. So that is obtuse angle. So answer will be point A. Okay, obtuse angle means what? More than 90. Acute angle means less than 90. Okay, Ashlyn, why your video always off, huh? Ashlyn, and then Jared, you okay? Is your video still got problem? Does your video have any problem? Okay, all right. Question number 8. Okay, now arrange the distances from the shortest to the longest. Okay, now if you look at all the numbers given, you cannot compare them because decimal, fraction, whole number. What do? Change them all into one type, which is maybe whole numbers. So can we change into whole numbers, which is 4,300 meters. But how do you know it's 4,300 meters? You take 4.3 times 1,000. Okay, from big unit to small unit, you have to multiply. So shift the decimal point to the right 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Put the zeros inside, and then the arrowhead decimal point. That's how you get 4,300 meters. Okay, how about the fraction? Now, the fraction, there's a shortcut. Make the denominator into 1,000 because 1 kilometer is 1,000. So 4 times what equal 1,000? 4 times 250 is 1,000. And 3 times 250 is 750. So how many meters? That will be 4,000. 4 kilometers is 4,750 meters. And then this one, no need to change. So how do you compare? You have to make them all the same type before you can compare. So which is the shortest? Shortest will be this one. Okay. And then the next longer one will be 4.3 kilometer. And then the longest will be this one, right? Okay. So what answer is that? So your answer has to be number 4, right? Okay, got it? All right, no question now. Any question, you can stay back after the lesson and then you ask me. Okay, question number 9, ratio. So the ratio of boys to girls, okay, boys to girls to the number of adults is 6:3:2. So what is the ratio of adults to the children? Who are the children? The children are the boys and girls. So which is 9. Okay, so the ratio of adults, look at the order. What comes first? The adult comes first, so must be 2, right? And then the children comes later, that will be 9. So your answer will be 2:9. 2:9. So answer number 1. So you have to be careful with the order. Make sure you look at the right order. Otherwise, you get the wrong answer. Okay, look for the order. So 2:9. Any question? Okay, let's go to the next one. Tyson, once you are inside on the video. Okay, question number 10. Okay, now this one not hard. Some of you can't do it because why? Maybe you don't understand or just don't know how to do it. Now, what is the percentage talking about? The percentage is talking about a number. So if this percentage is talking about a number, then that number must be 100%. Okay, so every time you see percentage problem, what must you think or what must you ask? You must ask what is it talking about, all right? And that is your 100% already. So if 20% of the number is 80, then the number is 100% jumping. All right, do jumping method because faster, right? You have no calculator, so you will need to apply your shortcuts. So 80 times 5, that will be 400. So the number is 400. Answer number 4. Okay, understand? All right. Okay, which of the following fractions is nearest to half? Okay, now we have done this quite a few times already. Okay, so how do we do this? To find a fraction that is nearest to half, you have to look for the smallest difference. So how do you look for the smallest difference? You take 2/3, okay, 2/3 and half, all right? So how do you find the smallest difference? You compare them, okay, compare them. So for example, can I make it into 6, right? So you have something like 2 times 2, 4/6, and then half is 3/6. So what's the difference? The difference is 4/6 minus 3/6. You get what? You get 1/6, which is the difference. Do the same thing for 3/4. So 3/4 and half, okay, and half. So make the denominator the same. 4 times, no, don't have to, right? You just have to take 2 times 2. Okay, so your half is actually 2 times 2 is 4 and 1 times 2 is 2. So what do? Find the difference. So 3/4 minus 2/4, you will get a difference, which is 1/4. Okay, why do we do that? Because to find the fractions that's closer, you have to look for the nearest, you have to look for the difference, the smallest difference. Okay, do the same thing for 2/5. So 2/5 will be what? 2/5, you make the denominator the same, right? So you have 5 times 2, 2 times 2, right? And then 2 times 5 and 1 times 5. So what's the difference? 5/10 minus 4/10, the difference is 1/10. Okay, and the next one, 3/7, and what's the common denominator? 7 times 2 and 3 times 2. And then 2 times 7 and 1 times 7. So what's the difference? 7/14 minus 6/14, the difference is 1/14. So what you see on the right side are all the differences. So which is the nearest? The one that's the nearest is the one that is the smallest difference. So which is the smallest difference? which is 1 over 14. That is your smallest fraction. Smallest fraction means smallest difference. So 3 over 7 is nearest to half.
Mr. Ong?
Yep.
So the larger the denominator, the closer it is?
The larger the denominator, the closer it is. Yeah, correct. Smallest. The smallest the denominator, the biggest the denominator, the smallest is the fraction. Am I correct? The bigger the denominator, the smaller is the fraction. So we are looking for the smallest difference. So you have to look for the smallest fraction. Do I make sense? Make sense, huh? This is okay? All right, so let's go on to number 12. Okay, number 12. All right, how do you find the parameter of the figure? Okay, to find parameter of the figure, you have to highlight, use something to highlight, use some color pencils to highlight 7. And this is also 7. And then you can see a markings there. It means the two sides are equal. So actually, if you add these two sides together, it's also 7, or 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2, you get 3.5. And this is 3.5. Right? Okay, that is part of the parameter. So what's the next step? Is to find the circumference of the quadrant. So you take 1/4 times pi d. Okay, so to find the circumference of the quadrant, put the fraction in front and the formula behind. All right, always do this. Okay, do this and then you will never get confused. So 1/4 times pi. And what's the diameter of the quadrant? Quadrant has no diameter. Quadrant has only radius. Okay, just remember, quadrant has only radius. So how do you get the diameter? Just take the radius times 2, 7 times 2, and that's your diameter already. Okay, then you cancel. So divide by 7, you get 1. 14 divided by 7 is 2. And then 4 divided by 2 is 2. 22 divided by 2 is 11. Okay, can you cancel some more? 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. Okay, so you have to know how to cancel. All right, that's your shortcut also. Then you take 1 times 11 times 1, that is 11. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So what's the circumference of the quadrant, which is 11, right? Then plus another 11. So 11 plus 11 will be 22. Then you can add all the straight lines. Okay, add all the straight lines. 3.5 plus 3.5 and plus 7. All right, you can add all the numbers there. And if you add all the numbers correctly, I think you will get 43. Or let's do a bit faster. 11 plus 11 is 22. 22 plus 7 is 29. Then this is 7 plus 7 is 14. Then you plus them together, 43. So parameter is 43 cm. Okay, yep. So what I will do is every time I find parameter, what do? I will use a color pencil to highlight the sides so that I don't miss out any side. All right, or you don't double add. Okay, you don't double count. That's why I always highlight the sides which I'm adding. Okay, let's go to question 13. Okay, Caleb, understand, Caleb? Yeah. Okay. Now John had some sweets. After he gave 8 sweets to Pei Ling.
So I'm not done seeing question 12.
Okay, hurry. Okay, question 12. Okay, by the way, you can see that my steps like, wow, there's a lot of steps there. The reason why Mr. seems to have a lot of steps is because Mr. is trying to be very thorough, okay, thorough in the steps. But when you do your writing on the paper, exam paper, you don't have to be so thorough. You just have to make sure that your steps link. Okay, one step lead to the other step. All right, make sure your steps are linked to each other and don't jump steps. Okay. Okay, done ready? Okay, who was okay, done already? I'm going to move on to the next one. Okay, now question number 13. Okay, that's a before and after problem. So John had some sweets. He gave 8 sweets to Pei Ling, and then they had the same number of sweets. Now, if you don't know how to do, because it's algebra, right? It's even worse. So what happened if you don't know how to do? Apply your method. Before and after means before and after model. So you can draw a model. So John had some sweets. So John must have more, right? More than Pei Ling. After he gave 8 sweets to Pei Ling, they had the same number. So how do you cut the model so that each of them had the same number? You look at how many more and then cut the how many more into half. And then this box that you see will go to Pei Ling. And then they will have the same already, right? So that's how you draw a simple model. So where is the 8? The 8 is here, which is given to Pei Ling. So I can cut some more. This is also 8, right? Okay, how many sweets did John have at first? So your question mark is over here, and And where's M? Let M be the number of sweets Pei Ling had at first. So Pei Ling has M at first, right? So you just have to draw the model and then put the numbers inside carefully and the letters inside. And if Pei Ling has M at first, this is also M. So can we now find how many sweets did John have at first? Isn't that M plus 16? N plus 16. So answer number 4. Pei Ling has M plus 16 at first. All right. Okay, so that's how you draw the model to work out the algebra answer. Okay, question 14. Okay, question 14, this is a good one, okay? This is something that, okay, you need to pay close attention. It's under construction, something like construction. Is angle A equal to angle B? Okay, now you can see quite clearly actually whether is it the same or not. It's actually not the same because angle B looks bigger than angle A. Yeah, you can see very clearly, right? If not, you can even take a ruler, protractor and measure, all right? So this is not true, okay? Because angle A is not equal to angle B. Okay, but how to make angle B equal to angle A? Now, look carefully. If let's say, how do I know, okay? How do I prove whether angle B is not the same as angle A? This is how you prove, okay? Can you see the line here, the line? Okay, so you count the what? Count the squares. 1 square to the right, 1, 2, 3. So you have 1 and 3. That's a pattern, 1, 3. And then you will get this line already. Okay, this line. Okay, do the same thing from here. So I do the same pattern, 1, and then 1, 2, 3, and there's a dot here, right? So if angle A is equal to angle B, then this is where my angle should be. This is where my angle should be, right? Then my angles will be equal already. Yeah, my angles will be equal, but you can see the angle is much bigger. So statement A is false. Okay, you understand how to prove it? By counting the squares. That's how you prove whether is it equal or not equal. Okay, all right. So let's go to the statement B. Okay, statement B. The parameter of figure Q is 8 units more. 8 units more than the parameter of figure P. How can you prove? Okay, easy also, okay? But maybe when you do it, it's not easy. You just look at the units, look at the horizontal line, okay? For example, this one. Okay, how many units are there that form the parameter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 already, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 14. All right, so you have 14, okay, 14. Can you count 15, 16, 17? No, cannot. This is different already. Okay, that is different already. So you cannot count the slanted lines. It's a bit different already. All right, so you just ignore the slanted lines. Okay, how about the other figure P? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a 6, right? The parameter is like 6. Then how about the slanted lines? Now, if you look at the slanted lines, if you notice carefully, the slanted lines, is it the same length? Same length or not? Same length or not? Well, you look like same length, right? But can you prove again? Yeah, I can prove it. How to prove it? From this dot to that dot, moved along the squares. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, right? 3, 4. From here to there, same 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the red lines are the same length, same length. Then how about the other red line here? Same length as the one here. Yeah, same as well, because you count the squares as well. From here to there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Also the same, 3, 4, 4, 3. Same pattern. So the red lines are the same. Okay, so is the parameter of figure Q 8 units more? Yes, it is, because 14 minus 6, that gives you 8 more. 8 more units. So your statement B is true. How about the red lines? We don't need to compare because the 2 red lines are the same as the other 2 red lines, same length. So we don't have to compare them. Do you understand? Okay, how about the area? Now, to find the area, you will have to count the squares. How many squares make up the figure? So let me erase all these. Can I erase? Okay. If you need to watch, need to copy, you can watch the recorded lesson. So how do you find the area of figure Q? Figure Q, count the squares inside. So break up into familiar shapes. There are 9 squares. And then how about the triangle? The triangle is how many squares? Half times base times height. Half times 4 times 3. You will get 6. Okay, how do you get 6? Half times base. Base, what's the base? 4. All right, 4 units. Okay, 4 units. And the square is 3 units. So half times 4 times 3. Okay, then how about the other triangle? The other triangle is 6 also. So what's the area? The area will be how many? 21. Okay, that's the area. Okay, how about the rhombus? How about the other figure? Okay, the other figure, what do? Count the squares. But how to count the squares? Okay, look carefully. It's like very hard to count, right? Very hard to count the squares. Never mind. You can create a figure, create the rectangle. How many squares make up this rectangle? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? 7. There's 7 times 3. So you have 21 squares make up this rectangle. And then can you take out this triangle, which is made of how many squares? So half times 4 times 3, that will give you 6. And then the other triangle that I don't want is also another 6. So 21 minus 6 minus 6, I will get how many? 9. Okay, follow? 9. So that figure P is made of how many squares? That figure P is made of 9 squares. Okay, 9 squares. All right, then you compare this number with this. So is it 4 times? No, it's not 4 times, right? Yeah, so the answer C is wrong. And by the way, the answer key got a mistake, right? Miss Long saw the answer key put down B and C, right? But answer key put down something else, okay? But the answer is number 2. Okay, number 2. All right, the answer key is wrong. All right, so be careful with the answer key because sometimes you have mistakes in the answer key. So answer number 2. Okay, do you understand now? All right, this is how you find parameter and how you find the area. So quite fun, right? Quite fun to do this kind of question, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, question 15, immediately, what's the method here? Grouping. All right, once you see a list of numbers or even pictures, that is grouping method. So you will have to recognize where your group starts and where does it end over here. That's one group. And then pattern means what? Repeated pattern, right? A pattern means what? Repeated group. There is a repeated group. That's why it's called a pattern. Okay, what is the sum of the first 403 numbers? So you have to find how many groups are there. You take 403 numbers and divide by one group, there are 5 numbers. So 8 times 5, 40. And then you minus and 0 times 5, 0. And there's a remainder 3. What does it tell you? It tells you that there are 80 groups and the remainder 3 is your last 3 numbers that cannot form a group. Okay, remainder 3 is the last 3 numbers that cannot form a group. Okay, if there are 80 groups, what is the sum? Go to one group and look for the sum. So 1 plus 3, 4, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 1, 7. The sum is 7. So if there are 80 groups, 80 times 7, that will be 560, right? The sum of 80 groups is 560, but don't forget to add the remainder 3 numbers, which is 6. So you take 560 and then plus 6, 560, right? 560 plus 6, that will give you the sum of all the numbers, which is number 4. Okay, any question? Ashley, you're lying down on the very comfortable, right, Ashley? All right, clear so far? So if you have a lot of mistakes, I think you need to revise, okay, revise on your mistakes because many of them are repeated, okay, repeated questions. Okay, let's go to question 16, all right? So we are halfway through already. Okay, so question 16, and okay, this one. Okay, now if you find difficulty doing this, what should you do? Write out all the words into numerals one by one. Okay, 1 million, and then 204,000. Okay, that's what you have, right? Then you plus them together, and then you get your numeral. So 1204000. Okay, yep. Jordan, yeah, question?
What's the answer for question 14 again?
Question what? Question what?
14.
Question 14.
Yeah, 14.
Okay, okay, now try to follow because, okay, question 14. Okay, remember if you haven't done, please use a what? Use a green pen. Okay, question 14, the answer key has a mistake. Okay, there's a mistake in the answer key. So, so this is the correct one. Okay, let's go. Can we move on? Done already?
No, I have a question.
Yeah,
You
children.
had only 1, 2, 4, 0, 0, 0, but there had to be a 500 there also.
Wait, let me take a look. Hang on for a while. Okay, questions. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there's a 500. Yes, Miss Long forgot to put the 500. Okay, so you have okay, let me just adjust a little bit. So let's erase all this thing. Okay, so how to, like, some of you have difficulty trying to figure out what number is that. So what you can do is change every one of the words, right? Every one of the words into numerals, right? And then it will be easier. So 1 million, right? And then 204,000 and then 500. Yeah. And then you'll find that it's much easier to get your numeral 1204 and 500. Okay, understand? Okay, now the next one, some of you also got some difficulty, right? Because you cannot use calculator also. So what is 10 divided by 2,000? All right, now this one, look carefully. Okay, now actually there's a, okay, now what do? You take out 10 or divide by 10 and then divide by 10. Okay, got it? Right, so you make the number smaller by dividing by 10. And then you have 1 divided by 200. Break up the 200 into number bonds. Okay, number bonds, which is 2 and 100. This is what you learn in primary 5, right? Break up the number bonds. And then what is 1 divided by 2 or 1 over 2? 1 divided by 2 is actually 0.5. Okay, 0.5. You can do your dividing, do your working, and then you have to divide. So shift the decimal point to the left 2 times. So 1, okay, 1 and 2. So put the 0 in the empty basket, arrowhead, decimal point, and 0 in front. So what is the value? The value is 0.005. Okay, understand? Okay, so so there's a lot of concept being tested here. So you have to divide by 10 to make the number smaller, and then after that, break up the 200 into number bonds, and then after that you can divide already. Okay, let's go to question 16. Question 18, what are the 2 shapes that you must color? Okay, so there's one shape here, but there's nothing here. So you have to color this square. There's one square on this left side, and on the other side, no square. And then this one and this one have already. These 2 opposite each other. So these are the 2 squares that you must color. Okay, next one, question number 19. Now, question number 19, again, some of you confused, don't know how to do. This is a concept. Now, just have to remember, how do you change percent into fraction? Your percent change into fraction is always over 100. Your percentage is always over 100 if you want to change into fraction. Okay, what is 12.5 over 100? It's a funny fraction, right? So you just get rid of the decimal point. Just times 10 to shift the decimal point. And then no more decimal point already. And then below also times 10. So when you shift the decimal point, what does it become? It becomes 125.0 or 125. Okay, so you times 10 to get rid of the decimal point, and then at the bottom will be 1000. That's your fraction. And then simplest form, you divide by 5, keep dividing by 5 until you get 1 over 8. So your simplest form is 1 over 8. Okay, divide by 5, and you will get 1 over 8. Okay, question 20. Now, question 20, some of you, okay, now question 20, you have to be careful. It's an easy question, but your compass, Ms. Ong say put the compass onto the picture, right? If you put your compass like this, well, you will get yourself confused because you put the compass in the middle of where the person is. Is the person at here? Is the driver here? The driver is not at the junction, okay? The driver is not in the center, but where is the driver? The driver is at where's the driver? The driver is road B, right? Road B. Okay, road B. Right. He turned his car 90 degrees clockwise, and then what happened? He entered road B. So the driver is here. Okay, the driver is here. So what do? Then you can put the compass inside him. Okay, use pencil. Okay, use pencil. Use pencil to do that. Okay, so use a pencil. Okay, pencil. Okay, Miss Ong, a bit hard to do this. Okay, it's a bit hard. Okay. So what do? So he makes a 90 degrees clockwise onto road B, right? So 90 degrees. Okay, maybe let me just erase this part. Okay, because show you how. Okay, let me just show you the easy way. Okay, the easy
We
way.
can just draw the
Yeah, actually you can just.
markers inside the
Yeah,
book.
okay. Yeah, actually it's a little easy, but it's the how Mr. want to explain is a little harder, but it's quite easy. Okay, now he turns his car 90-degree clockwise. So he has to be at road A. Why? Because like this. Okay, that is a clockwise. Clockwise means what? Clockwise means like this. This is clockwise. And when you turn this way, that is a 90. That is a 90 degrees turn already. Okay, 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, so where was he coming from? He's coming from road A. Okay, road A. Okay, and then when he turned 90-degree clockwise, what happened? He will enter road B. Okay, so I think that's the best way to explain to you lah.
I thought it's actually that's anti-clockwise.
Say again, for what do you say, Suran?
It looks like it looks like anti-clockwise. Clockwise is
Clockwise. Okay, let me show you one more time. Okay, look carefully. He is at road B, right? I mean, when he turn, he will enter road B, right? Road B. So what is clockwise? Clockwise means like this. Okay, like this. Clockwise. So can you see if he's at road A, what did he do? He will be turning. Can you see the direction? The direction is clockwise. All right, clockwise. Okay, it's going. Can you see going, and then okay, Mr. something like that. Okay, Mr. can't really show you. Yeah, so it's actually clockwise, not anti-clockwise. Okay, so for Suran, do you understand why clockwise? Because look at the way he turned. That is a clockwise already. Clockwise. Okay, did I answer that? Where is Suran? Mr. can't see you. Yeah. Okay, clockwise means you follow the clock. Okay, follow the clock. So he must be at road A at first. All right, I think that's the best way to explain to you.
my answer. I got it wrong. I put answer D.
D. If your answer is D, what happened?
Yeah,
Okay.
so put D.
Yeah, or because yeah, that's why Mr. say easy but yet tricky. If your answer is D, what happened? This is what? This is like anti-clockwise already. See, look at my way I'm doing, like anti-clockwise already. Anti-clockwise means you're coming back, turning backwards. Yeah, it's not clockwise. Okay, got it? So your answer is not D. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Question 21. Clear so far? Any more questions you can ask me later? Okay, yeah.
But if you face another way at road A, then when you turn to road B, it will be anti-clockwise.
From road A, what do you mean? From road A, you turn
Yeah.
It's clockwise. Clockwise. Why anti-clockwise? It's clockwise. It's clockwise.
But can you like turn to a position when you're still at road A, but you turn anti-clockwise to road B?
It's okay. Maybe Gary, you will stay behind later, and I'll explain to you. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's move on first so that the rest don't get bored waiting. Okay, so Gary, just wait. Later you just stay behind first Okay, let's look at question 21. Okay, question 21 and a few others are very giveaway. They are giveaway questions, so they are not very hard. So you must take advantage of all these questions. They are easier. So they left Singapore at 10:45 a.m., which is morning. And then they travel for 2 hours, 25 minutes. So method timeline. So you jump. Okay, jump 2 hours and 10 plus 2, that will be 12. 12:45 p.m. Not a.m. Because morning then become afternoon, p.m. And then you have to jump another 25 minutes. So a bit hard to jump. So you break up the 25 minutes into smaller jumps. So you jump 50 minutes, you get 1 p.m. And then you jump another 10 minutes, and you will get 1:10 p.m., right? And your answer has to be 24-hour clock. So you look at the p.m. If it's p.m., you have to add 12 to the 1. So 12 plus 1 will be 13. So answer is 13:10. Okay, so that's how you change it to 24-hour clock. Okay, question 22. You can see that this should be a 1 mark question, right? You should know that, right? Because you have done this in your paper 1, which is 1 mark. So 3 divided by 7. So what do? So you divide, okay? 0 times 7. Then there's a remainder 3, right? Change the whole number into a decimal. Raise up the decimal point, put a 0 down, and then 4 times 7 is 28. And there's a remainder 2. And keep dividing because you need to have 2 decimal places. And then add 1 0 and put the 0 down. And then 2 times 7 is 14. And remainder 6. Now, is your answer 0.42? No, because you need to round off. Round off, correct means what? Correct to the 2 decimal place means you have to round off. So you need to continue dividing and get 3 decimal place. So 8 times 7, 56. And once you get your 3 decimal place already, then you stop. Okay, you don't have to divide already. Then you draw a line to show how a 2 decimal place look like. There's a digit 8, which is 5 and bigger. So you add 1 on the next digit. So what's your 2 decimal place? 0.43. Okay, all right. So I think this is quite a very common tested question. So make sure you know how to divide and how to round off. Okay, question 23. What is a prism? Okay, now a prism is when you cut it cross section, right? Those who have learned your lesson already in school, prism means when you cut it cross section. Cross section means what? It means if I take a knife and I cut it into like chocolate cake, cut it into slices, what will I see on the inside? I will see a same shape, which is a triangular shape on the inside. And not only that, every time I cut, it will always be the same size and same shape. No matter how many slices I cut from this prism, it will always have the same shape on the inside and also the same size. If you look at solid B, if I cut this way, what happened? You will see something like, Mr. can't really draw, okay, something, I don't know how to draw. Okay, but when you cut it, what happened? As you keep cutting, you will find the size get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So this is not a prism. Solid B is not a prism, all right? Your answer is solid A, okay? Like, is rectangle a prism? Is this cuboid a prism? Is this a prism? Yeah, it is a prism because when you cut it, all right, cut it, what happened? You will see inside is a rectangular shape. No matter how many times you cut, it always be the same shape and size. Okay, how many times you cut the cuboid? The cross section, the inside is always the same shape and same size, and that is a prism. Okay, understand? How about, okay, so make sure you know what is a prism. Means when you keep cutting, what will happen? The inside is always the same shape and size. Okay, next one. So which triangle does not fit the nets of the solid? All right, that's a method called the base. Okay, the base is the bottom, the base. Okay, and then put numbers there. So 1, 2, at the back is 3, and then here is 4. And then transfer the numbers onto the net. So where is your number 1? Okay, your number 1 is where? Number 1 must be, or if you're not sure where is number 1, then you look at other numbers. Like number 4. Number 4 is the right side. Can you see the number 4 is the right side? And then you visualize when you move number 4 upwards, then your C, your C must be your number 1 already, right? Your C. Yeah, your C must be number 1 because this line will touch this line. Yeah, and then the 4 will be the same side as the base. And then where's the left side? The left side must be your number 2, right? Number 2. Left side is number 2, right? Then where's your number 3? Number 3 must be the one behind number 3 because why? This side will touch this side. So which is the odd one? Which triangle doesn't fit? Side B, triangle B, right? Triangle B doesn't fit. Okay, understand? So have you learned nets and solid figures in school already?
Yeah, Mr. Ong.
Yeah, Seren.
Yeah, I thought so A must stick out because like when you see actually, right?
Okay, now this one, Mr. Ong can't really tell you. You need the manipulative to
Fold.
really, yeah, you need to fold it and then
So
can
you
see.
imagine to fold the thing. So 2 were close, 4 were close,
Yeah.
then 3 were so close, and then
Yeah,
6
3
was
also close. But your B, what happened to B? Your B,
B
your
is actually 3 now.
B is out already. B cannot close because B, you can see, if you notice carefully, can you see something that Mr. Ong draw? Your triangle B has the same side as the base. Can you see that? Your triangle C, when you close it, it will touch this side. If you visualize your triangle, your number 2, the base will, you can see this side, triangle 2 will have the same side as the base. Then your triangle 3, when you fold it, what happened? It will, this side will touch, right? Will touch here, right? Understand? But how about triangle B? Triangle B got problem because triangle B, when you fold it, what happened? This side is longer. longer, right? It looks a bit weird already. Looks a bit weird. That's why your triangle B is out already. Okay, right. But any more questions about this later, you can ask me. All right, we move on first. Later on, I will explain to you after the lesson. Okay, question number 24, part A. Okay, let's move on. So how do you draw the cuboid onto the isometric grid? What is isometric grid? You have all the dots inside. So very easy, 2 cm, count the units, one unit and 2 unit. And remember, must be straight lines. Even if your drawing is correct, but it's freehand, means your drawing is not straight, it's still 0 marks. You need to draw straight lines with ruler. And then 3 cm will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, 3 cm. So you also need to label. And then the height is 2 cm, 1, 2. Okay, and then do the same for the height here. And here also 2 cm. Then you can join already. Everything must be pencil and ruler. Okay, that's your cuboid. Okay, which of the following figures represent the side view? All right, side view, look at this side and look at the squares. 1, 1, 3. So what's the pattern? 1, 1, 3, right? 1, 1, 3. Then you look at all the ABC. This is 3, 2, 1. Answer wrong. This is 2, 3, 1. Also wrong. This is 1, 1, 3. So C. C is the correct side view. All right. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, this one also not hard. Jerry has some milk. She drank 1/5 liters, and then she used 1/2 liters. And after that, she had 2 liters of milk left. So how many liters of milk did she have at first? So can I add the two fractions together? Yes, I can. Yep.
I don't have 25 and 26. Like
Miss On don't understand. Okay, maybe you printed. Yeah, everybody has 25 and 26, right? Everybody. Question 25, 26. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Can we add the two fractions together? We can because the two fractions are talking about the same thing, right? They are talking about liters, right? There's a unit. Can you see there's a unit there? So you can plus them together. So you take 1/5 liter plus 1/2 liter, and then plus how much left, which is 2 wholes. 2 liters means 2 wholes. All right. So what do you do? Just make the denominator the same, right? So 5 times 2, 1 times 2, 2 times 5, 1 times 5, and then this is 2 wholes. All right, so what do you do? Add the fractions together, which is 7/10 plus 2 wholes, which is 2 and 7/10 liters. Now, must I change it to decimal? Try to avoid decimal. If the question never asks you, means you write fraction because fraction is faster, right? If you write decimal, it means that you have to do more steps already if you want to write decimal. So leave your answer as fraction. Don't need to change into 2.7 liters. If you write 2.7 liters, you're also correct, but it's extra step. Okay, extra step. Okay, let's go to the next one. Question 26. Okay, speed. Car A travel 45 kilometers in half an hour. So what's the speed of car A? All right, now always draw your triangle. Distance is equal to speed times time. So to find the speed of car A, you must take distance divide by time. Okay, distance divide by time. All right, so how to divide fractions? Keep the first number, change the divide to times, and flip upside down. Okay, you can also change the whole number into a fraction here. Then 45 times 2 is 90 divided by 1, which is still 90. So the speed of car A is 90 km per hour. Then how about the speed of car B? So car B, speed is equal to distance divided by time, which is 75 km per hour. So which car is slower? Car B is slower because it has a lower speed. Okay, so your answer has to be car B. All right. Okay, so the questions are quite easy. Now, so make sure if you have a mistake, you can find out what's wrong. Okay, because these are really simple ones. Okay, question 27. Okay, from here onwards, okay, let's see how we do. The average, every time there's average, can we find total? Yeah, we can find total. There are 5 days and the average number is there 8? I think that's 8, right? So 8 times 5 to get the total, 8 times 5, that will be 40. 40 stickers, right? How do you get 40? Average times how many days equal total? then you just take the total and minus, right? So you take 40 minus, okay, I'm gonna use my calculator so you can do a bit faster. You take 40 minus 5 minus 12 and minus 10, and also minus 0, also must, okay, and you will get the question mark, which is 13. So 13. So Wednesday is 13. Okay. All right. Remember, if you haven't done, use a green pen. Okay, use a green pen. Okay, now this one. Okay, this one, what do we have? Okay, ABE is an isosceles. Now, before you even try to answer the question, you need to do something, okay? And I hope you have done it. Rhombus, mark out, right? Those who came for the regular lesson, mark out the sides of the rhombus. And what do you know about rhombus? Rhombus is, oh, by the way, rhombus is symmetric. Do you know that rhombus is symmetric? It means you have a mirror image, right? And not only is rhombus symmetric, it has isosceles triangle. All right, so you have one isosceles triangle, and then there's another one which is exactly the same angles, right? So you have two isosceles triangle. So it's triangle ABE and isosceles triangle. Yeah, ABE, that is an isosceles triangle. So true, right? Rhombus, all sides are equal. And it's made of two isosceles triangle. Now, is ABC an isosceles triangle? Where's ABC? Is this triangle ABC? Now, you cannot assume, right? If you say yes, you have to prove it. If you say no, you have to prove it. If you say not possible to tell, you also have to show why not possible to tell. All right. So, is it true or false? Okay. Then what do? You just find out all the angles inside. Okay, like over here. Can I find what angle is that? 180 minus 105, this is 75, right? Okay, and then what else? Can I find this angle here? 105, right? How do you know that? Because there's an X, straight lines. Okay, there are two lines that form X. Can I find this angle? Now, why do I need to find this angle? Because I want to prove whether this triangle is isosceles. If it's isosceles, then this angle, which I must know what is it, must be the same as this angle, right? Okay. All right. So what is that green color angle? You take 180 minus 43 and minus 105, and you get that green angle. So 180 minus 43 minus 105, this is 32. So how about the other angle here? Is it also 32? Then you work out. Okay, you work out. All right, you prove it. How do you prove it? Can you see rhombus have lines? They are parallel as well. All right, and there's a Z. Okay, a Z. So this is 55 degrees. Then this entire angle must be 55 degrees also. So you take 55 minus 20, and that will give you 35 degrees. So are these two angles equal? Is this angle equal to that angle? Not the same. So the triangle ABC is not isosceles. Not isosceles. Do you understand? Okay, right? Michelle, understand, Michelle? Okay, Garrett, you raised hand. Yeah. Did I answer your question already, or that was for previous question?
Oh no, I forgot to.
Okay. All right. Last question already. Two more questions, and then we are done. Okay, we are on track. Okay. Let's go to question 29. Yeah, Jared. You raise your hand, Jared.
My camera on.
Your camera is on already. Yeah, I can see you. Okay. Okay, now question 29, open eyes big. Okay, now this is the hard one. But those of you in my lesson, you should know how to do it. So if you still get it wrong, means you forgot or never pay attention. Joshua had a rectangular block of wood, 8 cm by 4 cm by 3 cm. He painted all the faces of the block. He cut the block into 1 cm cube. So it means what? It means that on this side, how many cubes on this side? There must be 8 lah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? 8 cubes. And then on this side must be how many cubes? 1, 2, 3, 4 on this side. And then on top, what's the height? The height must be 3 cubes only. Okay, 3 cubes. So how many cubes did not have any faces painted? How do you find? Okay, eyes open big, ears open big. To find how many cubes have no faces painted, it means that you have to what? You have to look for the hidden cubes inside. Whatever you can see now, they are not hidden. You have to open up the box, open up all the layers so they can see what's inside. So how do you open up? Okay, this is how you open up. Very simple, okay? Cut away the front layer. Okay, cut away the front, the left and the right layer. Okay, let me do nicely for you. Cut away left and right. What will happen to your cuboid? Become shorter, which is now 6 cm. Yep, understand, huh? Okay, 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 I'm going to erase away the red color line. So just remember 6 cm, okay? Remember the length is 6 cm, huh? Remember. So I'm now going to erase all the red thing, okay? All the red thing. Okay, now what do you do next? Cut away what? Cut away the top layer. Shoom. Okay, cut away the top layer and the bottom layer. What will happen to the height? The height will now become shorter. The height will now become, just now was 6 cm, right? The height now become 1 cm. So cut away the top and the bottom. Okay, what else? What else do we cut away? Okay, so I'm going to erase again, erase all the red lines again, erase all the red lines. Okay, now what else do you cut? Cut away the front layer, Can you see the front layer? Okay, a bit, okay, front layer. Yeah. Okay, cut away the front layer and cut away the back layer. Can you see the back layer? Cut away the back layer. So what will happen to the breadth? The breadth will become shorter, 2 cm. Okay, 2 cm, become shorter already. Just now the length is 6 and the height is what? The height is only 1. Okay, 1 cm. Okay, all right, so what kind of box, what kind of cuboid do you have? You have a very small, you have a smaller box now, smaller cuboid. Okay, you understand? So when you cut away the front, the back, the top layer, the bottom layer, the what else? The left side and the right side, you cut away all the surrounding cubes on this cuboid and you expose those cubes. They are hiding, right? And all these cubes have no faces painted, which is how many? 6 times 2 times 1. Okay, not volume, we are not finding volume. There are 6 cubes along the length, 2 cubes along the breadth, and 1 cube along the height. So how many cubes have no faces painted? Answer 12. Okay, 12 cubes with no faces painted. So do you understand what I'm doing? Anyone has any questions about this, about what I'm doing? So it's like a cake, no? When you cake, there's a lot of whipped cream on top, a lot of whipped cream all over, right? Okay, a good example is this. Your cake is very unhealthy. There's a lot of whipped cream all over, whipped cream, left, right, front, top, everywhere got whipped cream. So what do? Cut away the front layer of whipped cream, cut away the back layer of whipped cream, cut away the top and the bottom layer of whipped cream, cut away the left side of the whipped cream and the right side, and what do you see in the end? You see the cake inside. You see all the cake. Do you understand? Right, you see all the cake, right? That's what you're doing over here. You cut away all the surrounding layers and then you expose the hidden cubes that have no faces painted. Okay? All right, Anson, understand, Anson? Okay, last question already. Last question is usually the hard one. Okay, but again, this one came out in our lesson, in our paper 2 lesson. So if you have paid attention, you would know how to do this. So how do you find the area of the figure? You just have to form a circle, and this shaded part is the same area as this. They are the same. Okay, same. Okay, so this part is the same as the shaded part, and then this part is the same as this part. Okay, so even if you don't know how to do, at least can find the area of the circle. Pi r square. So your pi is 22/7. What's the radius? 7 times 7. Right? And then cancel. So divide by 7, then 22 times 1 times 7, you get 154 divided by 1 times 1 times 1. So what's the area of the circle, which is 154 centimeter square? Okay, what's the area of the shaded figure? The area of the shaded figure is 60, right? Then this side must also be 60. Then can you find the ticks? What's the area of the ticks? You take 154 minus 60, you get 34 cm square, which is the 2 ticks. Okay, which is what? Which is this part that you see. Okay, this is the area, which is 34 cm square. Then divide by 2, right? So 34 divided by 2, you get 17. So this area, this is 17, that is 17. Okay, now make sure whatever you do, use dotted line, because now the diagram get distorted already. So what is the original figure? Where is the original figure? So be careful when you do drawing, otherwise you get yourself confused. So the original figure is here. What is the area of this figure? So now can you find the area of this figure? So you take 60 plus 17 plus 17, right? So 60 plus 17 plus 17, the area of the figure is 94 centimeters square. Okay, understand? That's the area. Yeah, Suren? Okay.
Actually, I thought I didn't read the question properly. I accidentally actually found the semicircle. Then
Okay.
I didn't find the whole circle because I forgot to do that.
Okay, now the only way to do this, I think that there could be other ways, but the only way, or one of the way that Mr. Ong knows how to do faster and easier is to form a circle. Because when you form a circle, then you will see something identical. You will see the shaded part is the same as the opposite. Yeah, that's the only way. Okay, that's the only way. And then the tick, okay, over here, this is the same as the opposite, same area. Got it? Okay, so we are done with the paper 1. All right, so any questions for this whole lesson? All right, I think the paper is not very hard actually, quite normal. So I hope you have done quite well, got 30 plus. Okay, now the next Monday, what do? We will have another paper 1 again. So just make sure you get it done. And then as we keep doing, hopefully you get better and better in paper 1. All right. Okay, so if there's any questions, you can stay behind. All right, stay behind to ask me. All right, otherwise I'll see you the next lesson. Okay, all right, so goodbye. See you next Monday for our next lesson. All right, and the rest of you, if you need to ask, you can stay back. Okay, bye everybody. All right, bye Ashlyn, you are very comfortable. Good night. Okay, and who need to stay behind? Caleb? Okay, Caleb and Garrett, right? You need to ask me something, right? Okay, Garrett, what's your question, Garrett?
The one is the compass.
Compass. Okay, what question is that? Oh, okay, Miss Ong saw the what question is that? What question is that? Question
20 and below.
Question 20 and below. Question 20 and below. Oh, okay. Okay, so let's look at this one. Okay, now the reason why the reason why you have root D, right? Okay, now it's because you put the, okay, you see, the reason why you have wrote this is because this, okay, Mr. Ong understand why. Because you put the compass right in the middle of the junction. You put the compass right in the middle.
And when you draw the compass.
Yeah, okay, now you put the compass right in the middle, but is the Jerry in the middle of this? He's not. Because if you put the compass at the middle, what happened? He's facing root D. And then he make a 90-degree clockwise turn. Where will he face? He will face road B, right? So at first he was facing road D, but when he makes a 90-degree clockwise turn, he's facing road B. But the question is telling you the car is driving. The car is not still. The car is not stationary. But this Gary, if you put him in the middle, he is stationary. So he's just turning, but still at the same point. He's turning. So he's turning 90-degree clockwise, and then he will face where? He will face road B already. So that's why you get your answer road D, right? Because you put the compass like that, which is actually not correct. So where should the compass be? The compass should be, okay, Miss Ong should put the compass. Okay, can you see a cross here? Look for the corners of squares at road B. Okay, sorry, Mr. Ong, road B, road B. Can you see road B? Because he faced road B in the end, right? So you look at the corners. Look for the corners of squares. And then the car is somewhere here, the car. Okay, then what do? Then you draw your 8-point compass. Okay, 8-point compass like this. This is where you should draw your 8-point compass, right? And then he was moving along road B. And then what did he do? What did the question say? He turned his car 90-degree clockwise onto road B, right? Yeah, okay. So he turned his car clockwise onto road B. So you have to work backwards, right? Because you want to find where was he at first. So you work backwards, the clockwise become anti-clockwise. So this is where he was, right? Where he was. So you just turn back 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So which road is along the same side as here? Which road? Which is your road A, law? Road A. Can you see that? Road A.
Oh.
Yeah? Yeah. So you put the compass at the wrong point, wrong place. He's not in the middle of the junction. That's waiting for accident to happen already. Right? So you have to put the compass at the red man. At the red man. You understand?
Yes, but teacher, but if they from road D, right, then he drive to the center of the junction, right, then
Yeah.
he turn his car and then it will go to road D.
Okay, now if it's at road D, okay, you say that he's at road D, I'm going to erase everything here. So if it's at road D, okay, let's say it's at road D. Okay, let's find okay, let's say it's here. Okay, here. Okay, find a corner of the square. Okay, the corner. Can you see the corner of the square? Here. Okay, and then you can draw your 8-point compass. Okay, yeah. Okay, so what turn is that? So he turned 90 degrees. What kind of turn is this? That is your anti-clockwise. That is what? That is anti-clockwise already, right? 90 degrees anti-clockwise. So he turned this way, right? He turned his car 90 degrees clockwise onto road B. Oh, your answer is road D. Okay, we hang on for a while. Okay, if he's at road D, then he's moving this way, right? Moving this way. Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what's a mistake for Garrett? Yeah, because if he's at road D, and then he turned his car 90 degrees clockwise, and then he will go into road B, right? But what kind of turn is this? What kind of turn? This is an anti-clockwise turn. Anti-clockwise. Because when you turn anti-clockwise, what happened? He will end up here. He will go this way already, right? Which is your road B, right? But that is not the clockwise turn. That is an anti-clockwise turn. Do you understand? Yeah, so that's why your road D is wrong. Because your road D, if you are at road D, what happened when you turn? You are actually making a 90 degrees anti-clockwise turn, not clockwise. Okay, all right. How about Caleb?
Is it possible for him to be at the junction and then he turn a circle, then go to road D?
Oh, it cannot be at the junction, cannot be here. No car will ever be there in the middle. You're either at one of the roads. So you cannot put him at the middle. You have to put him at one of the roads, right? Either road C, but if you put him at road C, make sure that you look for corners of the square, okay? So that you can draw your compass inside. Look for corners. Why corners? Because that's where you can draw your compass, your compass, see your compass. Yeah, see? Look for corners. Look for your corners. Where's the corner? Corner of squares. This is the corner of the square where he's right in the middle. Okay, how about Caleb? Any question for Caleb?
Any question 14?
Question 14. Okay, question 14. Question 14. Where's question 14? Okay, question 14. What's that? What is question 14? Okay, so which part you don't understand?
I don't understand part A.
Angle A is equal to angle B. True or not true? Okay, now, one of the ways to really to help you even one of the very easy way is to use a protractor.
How do you use protractor?
But actually we don't use protractor. How do you use protractor? Take your protractor and then go and measure what? Go and measure the angle A, go and measure.
Oh really? You can
Go and
do
measure,
that?
but actually we don't do that because but you can do that if you want. But you will find
Wait,
that
Mr. Ong,
yeah.
is angle A the whole thing or is it just like half of it?
Angle A is this angle, right? Angle A.
Is it the whole thing or is it the
Let me
half
see.
of it?
Oh, did I see something weird? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, angle A is the whole thing. Yeah. Now I realize the angle A is the whole thing. Okay.
Was it
Yeah.
the class? You took the class writing.
Yeah, Mr. thought it was okay. Can't really see clearly. Yeah. Actually, angle A is the whole thing here. The whole thing, because it's
So
not
is it
quite
true
clear.
now? So
Okay,
is it true
so
now?
now it's true already. It's true already. So your angle A is true.
Oh, then the answer key is not wrong.
Yeah, the answer key is correct. Answer key is correct if I'm not wrong. So how do you know it's correct? Because you just count the squares. Okay, count the squares. How do you count the squares? Well, you just count from, like for example, you look at this line, right? This line, and look at how many squares from this dot to that dot. How do you move? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. Then from here to there, is it the same pattern? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. So 4 and 3, same. So it's the same pattern. So what happened? You have the same length, the two lines are the same, and not only they are the same, but the angle will also be the same, the angle, right? The angle is the same. So it's A and B. Okay, A and B. Okay, this one cannot see the picture clearly. Yeah, after you say that, Miss Tan realize, oh, okay, there's something wrong.
Okay, the next question I need is question.
So your answer will be
20.
A and B.
Yeah, so answer
Yeah.
is 3.
So answer number, let me see.
3.
Number 3. Yeah,
3.
number 3. Okay, so I will need to tell
Can
everybody.
tell the parents to watch the last part of the video.
Yeah, watch the last part of the video. Yes.
Okay, I need 24 also.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So so good. At least I think Caleb, good. At least you mentioned this thing. Then yeah, that's a good thing. Okay. Any questions? Any more questions?
I need 24.
24. Okay, hang on for a while. 24. Okay, where's 24? 24 will be. Okay, what is 24?
Yeah, I think this one is.
Yeah, which one is?
Draw any off parts, right? Out here.
You need to draw straight lines, and
Because I think I drew a little bit differently.
if it's not the same, then it's wrong already. Have to be the same.
So
I don't think there's
this 3 cm is like 3 gaps, right?
3 gaps. Yeah. How do you get 3 gaps? One gap already. Two gaps, and three gaps. 3 gaps. 2 cm will be 2 gaps. 2 gaps in between. 2 gaps. Okay, and the height is also 2 gaps. Okay, 2 gaps.
Okay, so when I go back there, you can check.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So any questions for Garrett? Okay, then I will see you the next lesson. All right. So okay. So hope you have done well for this paper 1.
I got 37.
Okay, that's very good. Okay, that's quite high. Okay. All right. So if there's no question, then I'll see you the next week. All right. Okay. So goodbye, everybody. See you next week. All right. Goodbye. All right. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye, Garrett.